Today's topic is a fun one for me because I love any opportunity I get to be creative when it's also productive. I wish I had a job where I could be more creative and more hands on. I had the idea years ago that I wanted to start a business using a Cricut, making personalized items like cups and shirts and ornaments. And I got a Cricut as my Christmas present that year. It's beautiful. It's the Martha Stewart wedding edition. So it's almost like this pearl off white one. And it has its own shelf in my office. And I probably had it for 4 to 5 years. And I think I've actually only used it 3 times, which is very sad. I look at it every day. I come in here and I keep telling myself I will someday make something really cool. So I'll let you know when that day actually happens. But today, we'll be talking about something creative that I actually do once a year and that is also in my office that I look at every day. And it's my vision board. I'm sure you've heard of a vision board before, but if you haven't, it's basically a collage of pictures, words, or motivational quotes that are a visual representation of what you want to achieve. Most people create them for their goals for the year, but you could use it when you're planning a big event like a wedding. If you're renovating your house, you can create one with inspirational pictures of what you want the rooms to look like. You really can do anything with them. But for the purpose of today's show, we'll be focusing on your goals for the year because I really want all of you to have the best year yet. And I want to give you all the tools I have in my toolbox to help you do just that. And just a reminder, time is running out to take advantage of my Rock Your New Year discount on my 1-month coaching package. You could book your free discovery call today. Let's chat. Tell me what's going on. What's holding you back? What are you struggling with? And I'll tell you how I can help. There's zero commitment. It's really just a chat. So the link is in the show notes to book your free call today. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work, with time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. I started doing vision boards a few years back. I actually didn't do one last year. I started to. I cut out all the pictures, but when I went to make it, I had my one for the previous year in front of me too. And as I was looking at it, I realized that it was still pretty powerful for me because it still resonated with everything I wanted to accomplish last year. And as I was looking at all the things I cut out, I knew whatever I was going to make was not going to be as good as the one I did the year before. So I stopped. I still have it hanging in my office because it really is such an inspiration. I'm just starting to work on mine for this year. And today I wanted to share my tips on how to create one that will really help keep you inspired this year too. So here are my steps. Step 1. Decide whether you want to do a digital one or a paper one. I much prefer paper. I like the whole process of seeing it all out on the table and moving all the pieces around. But I know some people prefer digital. So really, it's whatever works best for you. Step 2. If you're doing a paper one, collect magazines. If you don't have magazines lying around the house, post on your local Facebook group asking for magazines. Plenty of people are willing to give you whatever they have. So just ask. And if you're doing a digital one, decide what you want to use to build it. You can use free software like Canva if you want to get fancy, or if you just want to use a Word or a Google document, you can make it that simple too. Step 3, the fun part. Get out your goals for the year that hopefully you created listening to my Rock Your New Year series. If you didn't, I am linking it in the show notes too. And look over those goals and start going through the magazines and look for words or pictures that make you think of your goals, that inspire you, that when you look at them, they make you feel joy or just smile. Just don't overthink it. I literally go through and I just tear pages out as I see things. I don't end up using everything I tear out, so really don't waste time overthinking it. Just pull out anything that sparks an emotion or inspires you and move on. You can also just use the letters and make your own words. I'm planning on putting my word of the year front and center of mine, and if I can't find it in a magazine, I'm just going to cut the individual letters out. Kind of like those creepy ransom notes. If you are doing a digital one, All you would do is just search for images. If you have health goals, you can just Google images of the gym or working out and copy and paste them onto your document. Or you can save them onto your computer and then just upload them into Canva. Canva is a little more artsy and it lets you manipulate the images more, and they have a lot of fun graphics. It really just depends on how tech savvy you are and how much motivation you have to really do it. Step 4. If you can't find something in a magazine, you can search for it online and print it out. I do that a lot. Maybe there is a quote you love or a Bible verse that motivates you. Maybe there is someone that motivates you that you want on there. For me, my previous vision board had Joanna Gaines on there. I love her. She is just a serious inspiration. She's a mom that had a dream that just went for it without sacrificing her values. And look at her now. It was actually on my bucket list to go see the silos in person. And this is how amazing Russ is. I had to go to Texas for a work trip, and it was an hour away from the silos. And Russ was encouraging me to just rent a car and go. But a not so fun fact about me, I have serious anxiety when it comes to driving anywhere further than like a half hour, 45 minutes away. And it's something I really hate about myself and something I'm really trying to work through. Like if I GPS directions and it's 20 minutes away, I'm okay. But if it starts to say like 45 minutes or more, my heart rate rises. I'm so envious of all my friends that can just jump in a car and just drive to another state, especially with their kids. It just seems so freeing to be able to just get the idea in your head that you want to go somewhere and you just jump in the car and go. And I know so many of you can do it, and don't take it for granted. And the silly thing is, once I'm in the car and on a highway, I'm completely fine. But it's leading up to it and the thought of just getting on a highway that is almost like mentally crippling fear. So that was a bit of a tangent, but back to my silo story. So when Russ realized I wouldn't make the drive by myself, he decided to meet me down there, and we rented a car and he took me to the silos. We ended up renting a really cool Corvette because why not? We're never going to own one. And I wanted Russ to really get something out of the trip too. So I let him pick out the car. I remember walking onto the field in the silos, and it was almost like the angels were singing, ah. And I just looked around in absolute amazement. I literally watched them build the silos from nothing into what it is now on TV, from the first episode of them visiting the silos till the end. And to see it all in person was just amazing in every sense of the word. And it was all created because one mom had a dream and she went for it. With an amazingly supportive and handy husband by her side, she took that rundown corner of the world and really made it into something beautiful. We spent the entire day there checking out all the stores and the food trucks, and I got a mug at Magnolia Press that is now my favorite mug, and I use it every day. And every time I look at it, it is a constant reminder that dreams can come true if you believe in yourself and you put in the work. That was a really long tangent, but my point is, if you have someone that inspires you or a bucket list item that you want to work towards or a vacation destination that you want to hit this year, and it's not in a magazine, go find the image online and print it out. Number 5, clear a space on a table for you to start putting your vision board together, or you could do it on your counter. You need a space big enough for whatever you're going to use as your base. So the piece of oak tag or whatever paper, and make sure it's enough space for that, plus everything you're going to lay out around it. Number 6, once you have the space cleared, you're going to go through all of the images, the words, make sure you cut them out nice and neat, and you're going to lay them on the table or the counter around the paper. Then you're going to take time to really look at each one and separate them into the ones that you know you really want on your vision board to the ones that you would be okay not having them on there, but still keep them on the table in case you have extra room and you want to add more once you're done. Number 7, figure out what you want front and center. For me, I want my word of the year, which is grow. But if you have an image or a quote you want to use, it's really up to you. Put it in the center and then start placing all of the other images, words, quotes around it, but don't glue anything down. You basically want to build it, have everything in the place you want it. And once you have everything set, then you're going to move on to step 8, which is grab the glue. I highly recommend a glue stick and not liquid glue. It just gets way too messy. And you're just going to pick up the images one by one, put the glue on, and put it right back down on the paper. I usually start with the bigger ones and then move on to the smaller ones, but it's really whatever is easier for you. There's no real rules. Number 9, once you are done, take some time to just really look at it, take it all in, and get excited. Your year has all of that potential in it, and you have the power to make it all happen. Which brings us to number 10. Take a few minutes to pray or meditate and set your intentions for the rest of the year based on the vision that you just created. It's really a beautiful process. I like to take the time to ask God to give me the time and space to work on these goals, to always guide me on what my right next step is, and to trust in Him to lead the way. And number 11, decide where you want to hang it or place it. You want to put it in a place that is in your face, that you're constantly walking by, that you see every day, that just helps keep you motivated and a constant reminder on all the things you want to accomplish this year. So those are my steps to make a vision board that will really help keep you motivated this year. I'm so excited to start working on mine, which I'm going to do right after I edit and get this episode posted. And you can make this process really fun. It's a fun, low-budget activity to do on a girls' night, or you can make them with your kids. With your kids, depending on their age, it may be easier for you to have everything cut out already for them. It's also a great activity to do if you're a teacher with your class. I'm actually going to be doing it with my Girl Scout troop. You can never start this process with your kids too early, so make it fun. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I would love to see your vision board if you make one, so head on over to our Facebook community. The link is in the show notes, and post a pic. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes, and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it in your Instagram stories, and tag me, and let them know they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there is a topic you would like me to cover, or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life, or join our new Facebook community. Sending you love and light until next time on the Mom Wife Career Life podcast with Carrie Pat.